Hi, my name is John Kim, and I'm a therapist who went through his own rebirth. I share my feelings and revelations. I believe in casual over clinical and with you instead of at you. I come unrehearsed on purpose because self-help doesn't have to be so complicated. One of the most common themes I see in clients who feel stuck and are grayed out and they're unhappy is they live in what was. So it's less about getting something, whether it's a finding love or building a business. All of that, of course, will bring us more joy. But I think that if you have a pattern of living in what was, it really doesn't matter what you get today, because that pattern, that faulty thinking, that creating a loop will always leave you grayed out. It's really hard to expand and create a new life if you're constantly being the old version of yourself. So let me explain that. Many of us, and by many I mean most, I'm also included in this, we struggle with defaulting to our own thought patterns, our old thought patterns, our old behavior. We struggle with giving ourselves new experiences. And by new experiences, I don't mean, that they have to be some huge life-changing thing. Of course, obviously, but they could just be little micro experiences that shift beliefs, usually start to dissolve old limited false beliefs and create new. And that new is what life looks like. That's what expanding looks like. If you don't give yourself these new experiences, then you default into living in what was. You live in the past. Now, time is going forward, of course, and today is technically not yesterday, but your state, your way of thinking, all of that shit stays in the past. And so you start to just exist, and yes, good things can happen to you, but, and you may be happy temporarily, but if you are always living in the past, you're going to live in yesterday. So what do you need to do today to break that pattern? I know for me, I after my divorce and rebirth, I told myself that I would never go back to the old me. And the old me was complainy, was afraid, was always exchanging his truth for membership, was always seeking approval, validation, never pulled from his solid stuff, instead was very pseudo and was always chasing. The old me was negative, always disqualified the positive, in a state of worry and dread, and no wonder why I was miserable, right? So after my rebirth, and as I was swimming toward and rebuilding myself, I told myself that I wouldn't live in the past anymore. So that meant I was going to start to give myself new experiences, and it didn't matter if it was in fitness or in what I ate or in travel. This is one of the reasons why I bought myself a motorcycle. Just even that, right? Transportation and finding joy in the commute or taking the bike to the beach, or of course it also connected to that 13-year-old John Kim who used to zip around on his little scooter, but it was another way to give myself a new experience. And I think that the only way to start to dissolve your limited and false beliefs, some of them are like, I'm not good enough, I'm not strong enough, pretty enough, I don't deserve love. Or maybe they're like, if I don't have this, then it means this about me, right? Because many of us tie our worth to something. The only way to start dissolving these false beliefs, where we start to live in the here and now, we start to live in the expansion of us instead of the constricting version of us and what was, is to give yourself new experiences. And so many of us, because we pull from fear or we pull from who we used to be, we don't give ourselves new experiences. The days just go by and we're on the same tracks, right? So we have to skip these tracks like a crazy train and start creating new tracks. And one of the ways to do this is to draw that hard line in the sand and say, I'm going to start to live instead of exist. And it's not negotiable, you know? And again, it doesn't have to be, trips across the world. It can be, but it can just be like, I'm going to start my book. I'm going to write my blog. I'm going to start my podcast. I'm going to ask this person out. I'm going to, whatever it is. I'm going to do something that makes me uncomfortable. I'm going to take this class. I'm going to go back to school. Whatever it is.
We'll be right back after this brief message.
One of the greatest things about the internet is that you can learn anything, anywhere you want, at any time. And there's a lot of noise out there and platforms that teach courses. I use Skillshare. Skillshare is an amazing online learning community with thousands of amazing classes covering dozens and dozens of creative and entrepreneurial skills. I've taken classes on how to produce content. I've taken classes on podcasting, on how to send emails. It's amazing and it's super, super convenient and just streamlined. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you 2 free months. That's right, 2 free months of Skillshare. It's really easy. Just go to Skillshare.com/angry. Go to Skillshare.com/angry, and you will get 2 free months of Skillshare. There are thousands and thousands of classes on any topic. Go do it right now, and you can start learning to be a better person. And if you stop dwelling on what the scoreboard's going to be or what the results are going to be, but find the value in the execution, right? Find the value in you skipping the tracks and doing something new that's going to create a new experience. And then, of course, not judging that, but being present and allow yourself to sit in this new experience, no matter how big or small, and then allowing that new experience to start giving you internal shifts. So that experience can be, a new love experience. That experience can be pushing yourself as hard as you can in a workout. That experience can be going out on a Friday night by yourself and treating yourself to dinner. It doesn't matter what the experience is, but things that are new, because that's where the stretch is. That's where life lives. If you keep allowing yourself to not do things because you're pulling from who you used to be, then you're no longer living, you are just existing. You're basically living in a time machine, right? So a lot of times I'll tell my clients, especially clients who are going through an expired relationship and rebuilding going through a breakup and rebuilding themselves, I tell them, out of your house and out of your head. And one of the reasons I say that is because by focusing on staying out of your head and out of your house, you're going to hopefully give yourself new experiences, right? You're going to, not say no to anything social. You're going to lean into things that maybe are uncomfortable. You're going to maybe travel or jump out of a plane or jump into the ocean, freezing ocean. I don't know. Or you're going to, maybe date someone that isn't your type. All these new things that are going to stretch you. I know I'm all over the place, and I don't know if I made any sense in this episode, but if there's anything I would love for you to take away, it's this. You have to stop living in what was, or what is and will only be yesterday. And in order to do that, in order to stop living in what was, you have to make a choice to give yourself new experiences. And in order to do that, you are going to have to push past fear. You're going to have to lean into discomfort. You're going to have to not judge, whether it's yourself or others, because judgment will lock you. Curiosity will expand you, right? So non-judgment. And then fully lean into all the possibilities and beauty of life. And of course, with life comes struggle and challenge, and that's what makes us grow. It's like I always I like comparing life to the pearl. How a pearl is made is the grinding of the sand in in the shell, right? And then, of course, that makes it beautiful. It's the same thing. I think our stories, we're like pearls, the grind and the challenges and discomfort and everything we go through. As long as we're able to sit in it and allow that to shape us, we become pearls, And of course, it's not easy, but that's what living looks like. And if you shy away from that and stay in your comfort zone, then you will never live. You will just merely exist. Hey, if you have a passion to help others and want to become a life coach, or you just want to acquire tools to change your own life, learn more about our Catalyst Life Coaching Intensive. We are an evidence-based training program with an amazing, authentic, vibrant community, and we give lifetime support. Just go to my website, theangrytherapist.com, and click on Life Coach Training. Hey, before you go, if you like my ramblings and revelations and shares, I am now texting people directly to their phone. Just go to my website, theangrytherapist.com. If you want to subscribe, I'll be doing weekly text, 5 days a week, reminders, and also mindsets and exercises and challenges. And every week there will be a different theme, a different topic. So I hope to see you in your phone. And also, if you enjoy this conversation, I hope you help me spread the dialogue and help other people by sharing it. You never know what people need to hear. So if it's helped you, I hope you can help me help others.